Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about just some more new Battlefield 6 leaks. As usual, this has been something that we've been doing for quite some time. But today's leaks, I wouldn't dare to try to hype you or anything because, I really, as a small channel, don't have anything to do with EA nor anyone else. But taking a look at what I've seen, because we've got combined something like 3-4 hours of leaked high quality videos, and this time the player is not a potato and they actually know how to play. Based on what I've seen, there are some issues, but the majority of things are actually very positive. Now, the player actually decided to put a lot of time destroying almost everything, and the destruction is put to test basically in these leaks. And what I've seen was something that Battlefield has been lacking for quite some time now. The destruction, in my opinion, is very good. There's still so much work to be done. There's still so much more that we need to see and experience for ourselves. But based on what we see, the destruction is just great. It looks very good. It's not like the building just completely gets destroyed and you can basically clear out a whole map of buildings. That's not something you can do, but core of the building remains. Some walls can be destroyed and they can be used as cover, and things are really good when it comes to destruction. And I gotta say, people are starting to be impressed by this, but it's not the end, because there are some very interesting stuff that we need to talk about here. Sounds of the game are just impressive in my opinion, even more impressive than the destruction, because Battlefield has always been known for destruction. Even though 2042 just sucks in every single aspect, destruction has been always a part of Battlefield, and you somehow just expect it, right? But one of the biggest flaws with 2042 is the sound design, which I have a video comparing it to Battlefield 4, only the weapons, and Battlefield 4 absolutely destroys the shit out of it. A 12-year-old game destroys 2042 when it comes to sound design, but here in the new Battlefield game, the sounds really look impressive. Like, the weapons sound great. I would say the jets, when they fly over, it's just way more realistic. The vehicles, when you start shooting with a tank or, I don't know, a Bradley or something, it feels like you're actually in there. The sounds are heavier, and you kind of feel like you're in the middle of a war zone. In one part of this leaks, someone's sniping, and the sound of that sniper rifle is just impressively great. Like, you can actually hear the sound of that bullet actually traversing through the mountains. And those are the things that we've been longing for in a Battlefield game for quite some time. That is really good when it comes to a Battlefield game being in pre-alpha, and there are already some things that show us that they are actually on the right track. Maybe about attachments, we've got some overpowered attachments, maybe we've got some unbalanced field upgrades and stuff like that, but those are the things that can be balanced, right? You can't do anything with the core game just like 2042. 2042's core game is corrupted, and whatever they do, 2042 can still feel like a Battlefield game, honestly. So that really shows us that they are on the right track. The stat system is really good. Now you will be able to see in game what your muzzle velocity is, your headshot multiplier, things like that. Those are the things that we needed to actually open another website, like a third-party thing, to be able to access, right? So if that's a part of Battlefield 6's stat system, that's going to be just great. The atmosphere of this game is actually really impressive again. I've said this before and I'll say it again. The only thing that you can compare this game to when it comes to atmosphere, especially with the map Capstone, the snowy mountain map, the only game that you can compare this to is Battlefield 1. Like, literally, that's how good the atmosphere looks like. And these are only leaks. We haven't still been able to play the game, like anything like an open beta or something. People are still watching, and they are all admiring the atmosphere because it just looks great. I just saw a sniper rifle screenshot of the game, and honestly, that thing just felt like some sort of single player game. It felt like a screenshot from some sort of Sniper Ghost Warrior, something like that. It was so good. The atmosphere was so great that it really didn't feel like some sort of multiplayer game. It was so good. So the sound design, the atmosphere, and the destruction of this new Battlefield game are already on the right track. And if they just keep improving this, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very good game when it comes to sound, when it comes to destruction, and the atmosphere is already just impressive. However, there are other things that we need to talk about. Apparently, destroyed vehicles will remain on the battlefield. Now, that's not something that's confirmed. I just saw someone on Reddit mentioning it, and I thought it was good to just talk about this. Talk about how good it is when it comes to immersion for a game, right? So it's very interesting that if you destroy a vehicle, vehicle, the remains of that vehicle actually stays on the battlefield. In the leaks, I just saw that the rocket launcher reload speed was just too fast. Honestly, if that's the case for the main game, well, things are going to be so bad for vehicle players, because that rocket launcher would take like, I don't know, 2 seconds to reload, and it was so quick. It was so quick that actually caught my eye, and I just wanted to talk about this and let you know that there is something like this. The game's pre-alpha. I'm pretty sure there are so many things subject to change, but that reload speed was just ridiculous. Honestly, that's the best word to use. Ridiculous. It has to take longer times for the player to reload the rocket launcher and for the vehicle player to actually be able to react to something, right? Defibrillator animation, in my opinion, just it feels dull. It sucks, honestly. Unfortunately, I can't show you anything because the video is going to be taken down, but it's all over the place. You can see everything on Reddit, and that animation, in my opinion, just needs a lot more work to be done. Support kits just feel like being too light. It takes like 2-3 seconds for them to be dropped on the ground. It feels like there is no gravity for these objects, and in my opinion, that's something that they need to take care of. Some people say that the explosions of the game are just not on point. In my opinion, they are already twice as good as 2042's explosions, because I don't know what people are talking about, but what I'm seeing in the leaks, the explosions are great. It's like you shoot an RPG at some sort of rock, and there are debris of rock just being thrown around. Have you ever seen something like this in 2042? That's not even the case in Battlefield 5, let's be honest. So the explosions, in my opinion, combined with the destruction system, are looking just great. Apparently, you can take 2 rocket launchers at the same time without any penalty. So in my opinion, that is some ridiculous stuff. Again, the game is in pre-alpha. Maybe they're just testing stuff to see how things work, you know? Battlefield Labs is a place for testing stuff. It doesn't mean something's going to be there in the main game. They're just testing stuff to see if things work or they don't, right? But in my opinion, something like this should never be a part of a Battlefield game, because it's going to ruin the balance probably, because it's going to be really hard for like a vehicle player to go against 3 engineers with 2 rocket launchers. That's not going to be anything good. Apparently, there are robots in the game that can repair and also just set some anti-tank mines. If you guys have anything to say about this, do make sure to go down in the comment section, because I'm just getting curious about this. But you know, the robot thing in Battlefield 2042 kind of ruins the experience for a lot of players. I'm pretty sure there are so many players that really don't want to see any robot thing in Battlefield anymore, unless we're talking about some sort of game like Battlefield 2142 where everything is robotic. That's gonna make sense. But you know, in a game where you have the MP5, you don't really need to have robots anymore. And you guys probably know that all these leaks are coming from the Asian playtest that took place a couple of days ago, and some Asian dude actually data mined the name Battlefield 6 in the files. So apparently the game's going to be named Battlefield 6. In my opinion, that was the most logical and rational name that they could possibly pick, because what else are you going to pick? You know, they're going to pick Battlefield. That's going to be just ridiculous, calling a game Battlefield. There has to be some sort of number, just determine what we're talking about. And Battlefield 6, in my opinion, was great. Battlefield 7 is ridiculous, because why you skip 6? And whatever other name you think of, it's going to be ridiculous compared to Battlefield 6. So in my opinion, that's a very good choice right there. In the leaks, you have health bars on top of your enemy soldiers, and that's probably something that was taken from Battlefield 2042. And some people actually said that it's going to ruin the immersion. My honest opinion about this is that I don't really have a problem with this. Sometimes it helps with the visibility and stuff like that, but you know, we had Battlefield 4 where you didn't have any health bar and things were actually visible as well. So that's not something that actually determines whether or not the enemy soldier is going to be visible. So in my opinion, they have to listen to the community. Whatever the community wants, in my opinion, they should deliver. For me, I just don't really care about a health bar. As long as my enemy is visible, I'm fine with not knowing how many HP they have, and that's just my take on this. In some part of the leaks, I see med pens being used multiple times by someone who's not dead, and this actually worries me a lot. The fact that the med pen is in the game actually worries a lot of people. Not me, but just so many people, right? They think it's a cut thing, and in my opinion, that's rightfully so. But being able to use that med pen more than once, just more than 2 times, makes it, you know, OP in my opinion. And just honestly, you shouldn't be able to heal yourself as an assault 24/7. That's not something you should be able to do. And some people are completely just against it. They believe that something like a med pen has nothing to do with a Battlefield game, and I see where those guys come from. But in my opinion, if they balance it out, it's not going to be so bad, you know, it's going to work out. But what I've seen in the leaks, this dude was just spamming the med pen, and I'm really not okay with something like this. And finally, let's talk about the customization of your weapons. In my opinion, the Gunsmith looks good. There are so many things realistic about customizing your weapons in the game, and it's obvious just by looking at it. In my opinion, it's not anything complicated like something like Delta Force, and that's great because Battlefield does not really need anything like that. We just need some sort of customization system that's balanced and that's gonna make weapons feel unique. That's all we need, right? We don't need anything too fancy, anything too complicated. And in my opinion, the customization system for weapons is on the right track. Still needs a lot of balancing. That's definitely the case because the game is pre-alpha. There are so many things that haven't been tested yet, and in my opinion there are so many balances to be done for this little system that they've got right there. But in my opinion, the track they're on is a good track, and they just need to balance some stuff, and that's going to make the customization system even better. So that was all my takes on the new leaked stuff from the Asian playtest a couple of days ago. Hope you guys enjoyed and hope this video was helpful, somewhat informative. You make sure to go down in the comment section, let me know what you think about the leaks. Let me know if there are things that you noticed and I didn't mention. Just let me know what you think about the atmosphere, the game. Let me know about the pros and cons of what you've seen so far, and we are going to have a good conversation now. Thank you all guys for watching, and until next time, stay cool.